Welcome to the Improve Work podcast. I'm your host, Daniela Tancău, an HR consultant helping entrepreneurs and team leaders build motivated, high-performing teams. Here we talk about leadership, employee motivation, and other topics that enhance your ability to lead, whether you are an entrepreneur with a team, a business owner planning to build one, or a leader in a company. You'll gain practical advice and insights from me and my guests, experts in the field and entrepreneurs who share their leadership experiences. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe to stay updated on every episode. Let's dive into today's topic. Hi everyone, welcome to the Improve Work podcast. Thank you for being here. In this episode, we'll talk about several misconceptions about employee motivation. What employers think about employee motivation strongly shapes how they act toward their teams. Misconceptions about employee motivation cost them and their teams as well. They led to decisions and actions that are set to fail from the beginning because they are based on conceptions that are inaccurate and that don't provide a good understanding of when motivation exists. And by exploring these common misunderstandings, we can gain clarity and make more effective decisions and actions. So let's talk about the misconception number one, let's say. Motivation is an employee trait. No, it's not. We can only talk about an employee's motivation toward a specific job within a specific company, not about motivation in general. Motivation exists and is measured in relation to a specific job. The same person can have different levels of motivation in two different jobs, whether in the same company or in different companies. An analogy would be that we don't like food in general, we like specific dishes. We don't like education in general, we are drawn to specific fields and areas of study, right? We don't like clothes in general, we like and prefer specific styles of dress. Similarly, we are not motivated to work regardless of the type of work. We enjoy and engage in specific types of work. We also don't thrive in every work environment. We prefer and perform better in specific work environments. Let's talk about the consequences of this misconception. So, on one hand, the management thinks that they can't do anything about an employee's low motivation. The responsibility is placed entirely on the employee, and management does nothing to improve motivation. Low motivation is maintained by not doing anything to improve or change the conditions that lead to that low motivation. The company encounters losses in terms of financial cost, time, and resources. Then some employees may feel unfairly judged. They may be labeled as lazy or uncommitted, when in fact they may simply respond to internal conditions. So, for example, an employee may have worked very hard at some point and made significant contributions, but because someone else took credit for his or her work, that employee stopped working as hard. It's understandable, right? Another example is when a promised bonus for certain results is not given. Or in another situation, the employee is frequently assigned tasks that are not part of his or her responsibilities and that they don't sign up for. Lack of action to understand a specific employee's low motivation can lead to even a lower motivation, a lower retention rate, and possible negative employer reputation. When management doesn't hold this misconception, those who understand employee motivation know that it depends on how well a job and a company respond to a person's preferences, expectations in terms of what they like in a job and in a workplace. They are also able to better select the people they bring into the company by identifying these expectations from the beginning. A candidate who wants the job is not necessarily motivated by the job, right? The role may be seen as a temporary job used to secure the financial resources they need until they find another job that they actually like. Misconception number 2. Employees should motivate themselves. Most probably, this misconception comes from the misunderstanding that employee motivation is about the employees convincing themselves to be motivated. It doesn't work like that. It's not about a motivational speech or willpower. As explained before, motivation depends on the degree in which a job, with all it entails, responds to an employee's expectations. To motivate themselves would mean convincing themselves they want all the things they are experiencing in a job. So, for example, if they don't like their task, they should convince themselves that they do. If they resent the way they are led, they should tell themselves that they like it, and so on. Behind the employees' expectations about a job are many factors that led to those expectations. So, for example, their past work experiences, their education, their social network and family, their lifestyles, personal goals, professional goals, and so on. We can't change our expectations just by wanting to change them. And it is not always in our favor to do that. It's true that there are cases when employees lower their expectations and stay with the company. But this doesn't really serve the employee nor the company. Resentment and dissatisfaction can still be present and can impact how the employee behaves and works. Employees can control effort, not motivation. An employee can choose to work hard even when they are not motivated by the job, but even if their low motivation is not reflected in their work results, they will not stay with the company for long, or at least they don't intend to. How many times have you seen cases of highly competent employees who accepted a job just for a short period of time, just to have an activity or money until they find a better job for them? And the cost that a company pays for these kinds of hirings and the disruptions they create are worth paying more attention to candidate motivation for the job that is offered. On the other hand, not all highly skilled employees choose to work hard for the company when they are not motivated. They may use the work time to search for other jobs opportunities or to do personal things. Absenteeism can be high and they may postpone completing a task. They may have poor attitudes and also influence their colleagues' attitudes and engagement, intentionally or unintentionally. Misconception number 3. Financial rewards are the most important motivational factor. People refuse job offers with high salary packages for different reasons. It might be that they are expected to do things they consider unethical. The responsibilities could be too low or too high. The work conditions may be toxic and they prefer to take care of their health, or the job might involve frequent travel, which can be in conflict with their family life or other situations. Therefore, financial rewards are not always and not for everyone the first motivational factor. Let's see some consequences of this misconception. So, relying primarily on motivating employees through salary packages, salary increases, or bonuses leads to missing out on other motivational practices that can have a better impact and cost less. Then, if the company doesn't pay attention to the variety of motivational factors, the motivation aspect remains unresolved, right? And employees may prioritize those activities that bring them more financial resources and neglect other responsibilities that don't bring money but are important for the company. Misconception number 4. All employees are motivated in the same way. This misconception probably has the most impact on companies. Most companies use only general motivational strategies. For example, annual or periodic salary increases based on performance evaluations, perks, sport and health benefits, training opportunities, most often limited to a small number of employees, and occasionally team building events and parties. Not only do employees have different motivational drivers, but the same employee may have different motivational drivers in different periods of their professional life. So, for example, a newly graduated person may be happy just to have a job that enables him or her to gain experience in the field they are interested. The salary package may not be so important at that moment in their career, but after 5 years, for example, their salary expectations probably will increase and they will want a much higher salary because now they have another value on the market and they can offer more to an employer. Another example that illustrated the differences between employees regarding motivation. So let's say we have two employees with the same job position and similar performance, and both of them are promoted to a team leadership position. But one appreciates the advancement and is happy, and the other one doesn't. The first one wanted the leadership position and is content with the promotion, but the second one feels that it's not suitable for him, that role, and that it's stressful to lead other people and do administrative work. The promotion brings dissatisfaction for these reasons. The employee might have preferred a salary increase or more complex projects that would help him develop even more his skills. Misconception number 5. Fear improves motivation. Monitoring employees can reflect this idea that employees need to know they are being watched to do their jobs well. They don't have the inner willingness or consciousness to do their work if they are not supervised. But if employees work only when they know they are being watched, this is an indicator that they are not motivated, right? They may simulate that they are working, but they are not really engaged and don't give their best effort to do their work well. From another perspective, job insecurity can be used as a strategy to induce fear. So, for example, firing employees to set an example of what happens if tasks are not completed properly or to the required standards. Poor performance needs to be addressed, and sometimes, yes, firing is the right solution. But before doing that, there are many measures that can be taken. Poor performance is not always a result of employee disengagement or lack of effort to achieve the expected results. For example, in some cases, an analysis of the expected results is required. Questions like were these expectations realistic? Did the employee have all the resources they needed to complete the task in the required standards? Was the task in his or her level of competence, or it extended their competencies? Then encouraging competition among employees can be seen as a fear-based strategy because employees may fear that they will not get the rewards that are promised just to the winners. Not all employees handle the pressure of competition well, and this might lead to behaviors that are not in the best interests of the company. Employees focus on their wins rather than what is best for the company, which can be much better achieved through collaborations between employees, right? And in a competitive work environment, information can be withheld to gain advantage over others. Knowledge sharing is not encouraged. Work relationships are more difficult and marked by mistrust. Okay, we are at the end of this episode. There are other misconceptions as well. In my blog post on this topic, I explore additional misconceptions that can undermine employee motivation. You need to subscribe to the blog to gain access to the full article and discover what these misconceptions are and how to avoid them, of course. Thanks so much for listening or watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you found value in this podcast, one way to support us is by subscribing. For more tools and insights to enhance your leadership skills and your employees' motivation, visit my website at improvework.ro. There you'll find a variety of online programs and courses. You can also book a free consulting sessions or a discovery call with me. I love to connect and support you on your leadership journey. See you in the next episode.